Usually to do that, to have an assistant, a good assistant take about 3 days for one blueprint to build out all those reports. I'm using AI and it's only 30 seconds.
Hi and a huge welcome to you, my lovely listeners. So glad you're here. Today you're joining me for a chat with Vinh. Vinh is a solo founder building HD parking lot. Vinh, so nice to have you.
Thank you, Nicholas, and thank you for having me.
You're building something, I like these industries that are a bit of like the main tracks, I would say, because they're usually very good business ideas. Please walk me through what sparked the idea for HD parking lot in the first place.
It sparked the idea when I was starting about 2 years ago. I was doing the side hustle with junk removal. It's very common. Junk removal is very common side hustle in the U.S. So basically, you just clean up people's junk. That's it. Just make a good, good money, a quick and easy money. So, and I was working. So that get me a chance to expose me to the construction industry, which is the homeowners, the builders, and the trade people, different various trades. So when I was at a job site, clean up mostly construction junks, right? And then I talked to contractors, builders, and trade people and homeowners. So I learned about what what their struggles, what they've been through, just chat. And I also, that's how I learned, okay, there's so many problems of managing the whole construction projects between homeowner and builder. And also as a way for a homeowners, is difficult to find a trustworthy local builders or contractors to help them with their home development projects. And on the contractor side, once they get the construction projects going on, they struggle to managing the projects. And most of the time they have 2 or 3 projects going on. And there are many things they have to deal with in each of the construction projects, the laborers, the material, and then the customer. And so most of the contractors, when they start out, they cannot afford to pay, these existing SaaS application for project management. So they never want to pay for. They don't have a budget, so they end up doing the very traditional email, texting, pen and paper. So I say, I just want to see an opportunity and just want to build something out. Mainly, I say, hey, I will provide and help small-time contractor out and use these tools to managing and connecting with the homeowners easily.
Yeah, I think this is really interesting. In one of my last roles, I was involved in building an innovation hub in a port company, actually. And this port company, we looked a lot at what I would call forgotten industries. So industries that are not like on the main track, that are a bit off the beaten path, that are I would say a bit too dirty for a lot of people to touch. And that's what I really like about your project as well. It's not the most, I would say, sexy thing in the current age of AI.
Correct.
But
Correct.
It is something that solves a really large problem. And it's really, construction is a trillion dollar industry for people who haven't really looked at it. It's a huge market, and it's still living, like I would still say, at least a few years back in time. It's not like that far. So I really like this general idea. If you walk me through the problems that you typically encounter, like what is it that you saw that was really worth solving first, and how did you go about it?
So one of the existing problems that I discovered right now as we talk, especially in the U.S., we have you probably know about Yelp, right? Yelp, the place where you look up a place to eat, right? And there's already a directory or marketplace to discover contractors or builders already, and namely Angi or Angi List and Thumbtack. These are directory places that homeowners can go and look for them. But the problem with that is that it's not reliable. Meaning, I'll give you an example. Let's say you need to do a bathroom remodel at your place, right? You go to Angi on Thumbtack on any of the marketplace. You type in and say, "Oh, it's asking you what you need to get done." So you type in, "I need a need bathroom remodel," and then you expecting after you type in what you need to get done, you expect to get a list back up, a list of good contractors, right? Uh, you won't. What happened is they're asking you more questions, your contact information, where's your job at? So basically everything about you. And afterward, you expect to get a list of that, but you won't. They say, "Thank you. We get your information when you get done. Now we're gonna send your information to good service contract providers," and which they will. But in about 30 minutes, you get a bunch of calls. So basically, these marketplace currently taking the homeowner information, the problem, and they sell that lead to about 20 of these contractors. And these contractors call you up, right? And then you have to you have to be interviewed. You have to talk 20 times to these contractors and then repeat yourself 20 times, explain what you need to get done. So, and then after all said and done, you're gonna end up pick one, right? And then you're expecting that person, then okay, you get the contract and then you work offline. And then the Angi or the marketplace won't help you, just connect you and then they get out of it. Now, after you hire a contract, that's not the end of the story yet. That's when the major headaches coming in because remodeling a bathroom is a sizable investment. It usually costs $10,000 or more, right? And it's a big money for most of the homeowners. So the marketplace, after they hook you up with a contractor, they get out of it. They don't provide any tools to make sure that the project get delivered on time, and then managing the all the payments. So so it left the homeowner in the blank, and the contractor just choose whatever method they choose to manage the project, and usually get delayed. So that is a problem I try to solve is I want to build a place where I just connect. If you go in here, you just pull up HD parking lot, type in what you need, the local area there. It sends you. It's not asking you, just type in exactly what you need. You immediately hit search, and then you get a list of contractors, and it's similar to Yelp. And we just present the information right there, and it gives you the profile, and then let you select and make your own decision. And after you find the person that you need to talk to, right, then you connect with it. Then it also I build additional applications that help you managing the project, that controlling the whole process. So we not let you in the dark after you initiate the construction project with the contractors, and then managing the whole full life cycle. So that is the whole end goal of HD parking lot.
Super interesting. And I know about these problems myself. So I know we're talking about problems that are very real and I think very common. Looking at it maybe even one step back and before, how did you get into building software yourself? And what's your journey before you started building HD Parking Lot?
Yes. So my prior background, 3 years ago, my background is software engineer, over 20 years. And I work mostly from home. So I joined startup, and my background diverse. But lately, in the past 10 years or so, I code mainly .NET, and I work at home. And then pretty good career as a software engineer. And then 3 years ago, a life event happened. My mom passed away, and from there, I was at the same time my mom just passed away. I end up, get depressed and get issue with the, at my workplace due to my performance, right? To sort things. So, and then I ended getting fired or laid off. And so I say, hey, and I get depressed. I just say, hold on to it. I just want to take some time off and explore, do something else. So, and I end up stumble into junk removal. How do I stumble junk removal? Because my mom left me her home. I inherited a home, but the home is messy. It's unpermitted. it's very messy. And the city government came down and said, "Hey, I need to clean up the house," and it was mess. And I call in a junk removal services company to come and give me a quote. The cheapest one I got is $25,000 just to clean up the house. I say, wow. I said, I don't want to spend 25,000. I end up rent a truck and clean it up myself. So I spent a month cleaning up. Then that's how I discovered because I pay, to clean up and pay to dumping all the junk, right? I figure out what they actually cost. So I figure, well, based on the guy that gave me 25,000, I figure out all the expense that actually I pay. He would have make 15,000 in about a week worth of work. I said, this is great. I said, oh, okay. I'll just go ahead and try to do offer junk removal for local community. And that's how I discovered this whole, like you say, construction industry is like, I never thought about doing any technology work in the construction world until I get into it. So I basically stumbled into it. And it opened up this whole world on how big and massive the size of the industry. Just like you said, it's over $1 trillion. And from there, I get my research, and that's how I discovered it's a huge market that most of the tech people never bother to look into it because it's not sexy. It's very boring industry. So that's how that's my background.
And that's usually, it's also interesting with the junk removal, right? Because this is also something people don't want to do. So you can actually charge more than for the jobs that people like doing. It's like,
correct.
It's that
correct.
simple sometimes. And I also think the same is true in software. Like if you have to do like this boring, a very smart person I once talked to is it's so much easier to make money in these boring businesses that people don't want to do. Like it's a lot easier most of the time. It's really something I learned before. And I also, we all obviously look for the flashy and shiny stuff, but usually the easier money is where people don't really look. Like, so probably also true now with AI, right? So if you're not like, there's probably a lot of room outside of this, like these places that are currently very heavily funded, where like down the road, the likelihood of making a lot of money are a lot higher. And there's also a very high likelihood that the next really big company will not be one of these currently flashy AI startups, but the real winner of this year might be something very different that we don't see yet. So this is usually, if we look at it, it's usually true. It's not the very trendy companies that were the big winners down the road. Like if you look at funding years.
Mm-hmm. You're exactly right. Good things, good point. That's what I observed. Like you said, like most people, include me, my former past, right? When it comes to technology, when a new technology come out, we always try to chase the shiny things, right? And so in the case of AI right now, so most people like they apply very common industry. They apply, build an AI that go on to analyze Reddit, right? Or analyze X and automate and all of those things. But nobody look at the boring industry like construction. So if you follow my X post, you see I'm currently building a AI application to read the house architecture blueprint. And that's a great demand. It's a challenging one, but there's actually basically nobody, only a handful of companies out there or individuals that actually apply AI to construction. So that opened the biggest opportunity out there. So I apply this and I demo these blueprint reader app, show to the contractor, the builders. They totally they're mind blown. They just see, but if I show to other technology, it's very common to just read it, analyze AI, but you see the homeowner able to see that you can able to read it in about 30 seconds. I have another app, which I already released on HD Parking Lot website. which is I call it the visualizer. Basically, you or your audience can actually go to my website and actually use it right now. And it's solved very common case worldwide. So the most common place is you need to paint your room, right? Or you need to decor your room, whatever style you want. Painting. I'm just taking, you want to repaint the room, right? And what the problem is, you go to your local hardware store, right? And then get the sample color and go to the wall and then kind of put it up and figure out which color to choose, right? You kind of debate, and until you paint it, you won't find out if the color gonna match, gonna turn out to be the look that you want, right? And so instead of that, you go to use my visualizer. You go and just snap a photo from your phone, and then just point and click and choose a custom color, any color spectrum you want. And then in about 30 seconds, it go to Google Gemini and it generates you exact, no bleeding, perfect, look like has been done. So the visualizer is painting is one of the use case you can use for it, but you can also change the flooring. Or you can apply a style. You say, give me, a tropical look, a coastal look, a modern look, and apply everything for you. And I'm currently, I offer this app for free. Yes, it costs me money, but I just think it's cool, it's helpful. That's why I built it.
It's really interesting what you've built already. Walk us through other core features. Like what else have you built, and what are you also planning to build over the next maybe 12 to 24 months?
Okay. So the whole goal of this is HD Parking Lot I want to help people not only to discover the people, but actually provide managing the whole life cycle of the projects. And also create the communities where homeowner and contractor can share ideas, meaning that, for example, let's say the person that DIY a projects, right? They have questions. Well, you can go on YouTube and Google and search, but the answer is spread across multiple places. So I build on that. I form a community. So basically the core features right here, I already built out and the people can actually go and use them is, first of all, you go in, we have a contacts, which is basically a contact directory to find all the service providers, from the guy that do the tiling to the roofing to the architecture. So directory app. And then another place, we have a projects marketplace. So meaning that you can go on, a homeowner can go there and post a project similar to Upwork. Let's say you need to remodel your living room. Well, the traditional current method right now is you have to go in and look up people and then call them and explain your projects to multiple people and then interview them and just repeat yourself. I say, so you can go to HD Parking Lot, post a project, describe, upload all the photos on there, provide as much information, and then from there, the system gonna notify all the relevant service providers to come and bid on your project. So that all they have to do, they don't have to call you. They just go to your project page and see the specs and the description, what needs to be done. And then they can submit a bid on HD Parking Lot. And then you as a homeowner can view the bid and negotiate to the platform. And then once you decide to pick someone that you can secure the project and get into and establish a new project and then managing the whole payment process. So that's project management right there, or post a project and get a project management afterward. And then the second place is that already built out which is the core, is the marketplace. Marketplace meaning that let's say back to the sample use case of homeowner want to do the living room remodel. You post a project, now the project get going. The second thing is you need to buy materials. You find a person that can remodel your kitchen, but you need to source out the materials. Where's the best place? So you can go on HD Parking Lot, go to the marketplace and search for the materials you need. Or better yet, when you post a project, they say that you type in the project type kitchen remodel. It know the keyword. It know what you try to do. So it will present to you all the vendors that provide the supplies and the material that relevant to your project type automatically. And I integrate AI. That's why I integrate AI and suggest where you can buy it. And it gives you the pricing, and it's up to your call. So that is the marketplace features. And then the fourth feature is that we have a calculators section, meaning construction calculators. Basically, so back to your homeowner, the living room, right? For example, one of the things that the living room, you need to do the flooring. You decide, okay, I'm going to do a marble tile on the floor, right? You know the dimension of the room. But you need to figure out, okay, you need to buy marbles, but exactly how many pieces of marbles or tiles you need, right? So, well, you can get a pen and paper and then do the manual calculation. Well, you don't have to do that. You go to HD parking lot and say, hey, do me the tile flooring calculator. You just enter your dimension and then it figure out exactly how many pieces of materials you need to purchase. And save you time. And that's the calculate section. And then we come to a talks, which is basically a forum. So the talk is basically a part of any home remodeling projects, big or small. The first stage is research before researching the finding the person, but actually you're going to research and say, hey, research means the legal aspect. Let's say you, in anywhere in the world, there are local laws and regulations you need to follow, especially you're going to you add a new room or you're going to tear down, build a custom home, right? You need to find out laws and regulations. Well, right now, you can go on Google and YouTube and do a search for it and then compile that information yourself. Well, on a HD parking lot, you go to talks. You do right there. It's already compiled that library of data information for you. And if the data is not available, you can post your question on there, and then the community of service provider or other homeowner have been through the situation can respond to the question. So basically, that's what I encourage it. So that's a talk, and that is mainly the core tools right there. So basically, research, discover the people, buy the materials, right, and then learn, right, learn. So that is the main thing that I want to accomplish. So that help you go through project construction and remodels. And what's next right now is I'm currently building one other tool that support this whole process, which is the blueprint readers. And after that, it's a more complicated one because most of the time people do remodel, especially kitchen remodel, building a new unit. They have to work with blueprint. And what happened, you send it to contractors. Contractors spend a lot of time reading that blueprint to figure out exactly the amount of materials, the labor, and the schedule is very time consuming to read that blueprint. And so now with the new tools, I'm about to release it in the next couple of weeks. You just upload blueprint within 30 seconds. It will tell you all the materials required to get that bill to exit, and then the number of labor hours and who the type of labors you need and how long and the schedule and also laws and regulations that apply to that particular bill. Within 30 seconds, I demo quickly to the contractor. Contractor mentioned to me, usually to do that, they have an assistant. A good assistant take about 3 days the earliest for one blueprint to build out all those reports. So I'm using AI and it's only 30 seconds. So that's why I'm building it. Go ahead.
No, I think this is really interesting, and it's one of these use cases where also like modern LLMs, they can add a lot of value because they are just so good at interpreting pictures. I didn't really want to interrupt you now that I'm already talking. What I find really interesting also about what you're doing is that you're building in public so much. What was this decision about? I think you started it in 2025, that you really started to talk openly about what you're doing. Maybe walk us through this decision.
Yes. So well, first of all, I was inspired. I forgot his name. I cannot pronounce his name. I'm sorry. Lou or something. The guy that.
Marc Lou, probably.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Sorry. So yes, I watched him. I got influenced by him, and one of the posts and on his YouTube video, he mentioned his story, how his life changed when he decided to participate on X Build in Public, and he encouraged. That's what I get the idea, and I want to follow his footsteps. So that's why I decided to record, and I kind of like it. And actually, his suggestion is great because it keeps me accountable, and I think it's much more fun than building in silence. That's the whole thing. Now I'm got hooked to it, so it's fun to document the whole process.
Yeah, I think it just changed it a little bit now because software has become a lot easier to build. I think this build in public movement, it was stronger like 2 years ago when I looked at it more. But I agree, and I think there's also this one point that people often get wrong. The idea is just such a small part of what you're doing. So it's a lot better to post what you're doing, to talk about it and get feedback early and realize your mistake early, or get positive feedback, but work on, like, get a second opinion on what you're actually doing in certain senses. And that's what build in public does a lot. If you build in silence, then there's just this very large chance that you are actually building something nobody wants. And then you end up with a product after 2 years that nobody wants, and you wasted 2 years of your life. And this is the worst outcome. It's a lot better if 10 people copy what you're doing, but at least you build something where there's a market and you can get a part of this market. It's a lot better than building something nobody wants. And a lot of people make this mistake. So I agree, and I've always liked this movement, and also this movement of like indie hackers, solo founders. Like, I think the people that are building the future, they all start small, right? And then there are a few who deliberately decide to stay solo, like Marc Lou or like Peter Levels, which are kind of the biggest ones. And then there are people who try to build really large companies, but this can start the same way. It's just, I think, beyond a certain point, I'm still waiting for the 1 billion solo founder. Maybe you become it. There are a few others. I had Ben Sarah on the podcast who's building Polsia. So he has tremendous growth numbers and maybe a shot at really making it very big. But outside of that, you will still need other people to do things. And that's also when I look at you, a question I would have is, a lot of builders struggle with sales and marketing. How do you do that?
Marketing, I have no problem. Actually, I'm comfortable with marketing, and probably because of my background. I'm a tech guy, but when I used to work for companies in the past, so I used to work for a online internet marketing company that also provide SEO service. So I got to know how the online marketing world have worked. Because I worked for that agency for a long time, over like 5 years, and I also worked with a few other startups failed. And a couple successful, but not like big successful or anything. So I got a chance to learn how these startup market themselves. But in terms of marketing, so to answer your question, it's not a problem for me. And part of exposed building public is, I think, is, believe me, it's just an affordable way for me to get exposure. That's one of the reasons why I decided to do posts in public and to get more exposure. And beside that, my main customer, even though I post on there, on the online community is mainly, basically, I just want to open, as you can see, I'm very open. My goal of this one is I don't just build one product and make a few thousand ARR a month, MRR, whatever. My whole goal is I just want to, it's a 4-year commitment from my end. my end goal is I want to build a company. I just don't want to build a product. Yes, I could go build a next cool AI and then catch on the trend and make good amount of money, but that's not my end goal. I go on X, I post, I expose to this, promote a company, an open company. So I have this thing I want to try it out. I believe that I can build a company with other people, with like-minded individual from anywhere in the world. They see my idea, they can work, participate, that spread across uh, the globe. That's what my end goal. There's more like recruiting, if if you will, different aspect from technical to marketing. So and that how and seem to be working for me. So now, I just met new people, uh, from local and also from abroad that can help me out with in terms of that willing to work as equity team members that to provide marketing service or to products development, product design, and also locally here the same thing. So they fit different role, and also of course technical as well. Um, so to answer the question, marketing come quite natural for me, and my main method is just post publicly.
Really interesting. And I would also agree that, I mean, I've worked in like big companies. I've also started companies. I've been in consulting. So I've seen like a number of different things through my time. And I can also say that companies and also roles change. So as you said in the beginning, it's about making something people want, then selling becomes a big part, and then hiring becomes a big part, and building a team and getting people to work with you. Actually, like if you raise a lot of money, the latter one will become more important a lot earlier. Like finding really great people who want to work with you is a big challenge then, but that's kind of the evolution of things. And I think all these parts are really interesting. And I think it's also very interesting that you're already experiencing it and also going through all these phases, I think, that you see on the company track. If you look around, so you're not planning to stay a solo founder, right? So you want to build a team and make it a big company at the end of the day.
Yes, that's my end goal is build a global company, a big, of course, very ambitious, and my things I want to be, and I want to break from the traditional where, oh, go get an idea, yeah, a company and go raise fund and hire employees. I don't like that because I get laid off. So I want to build a company where where I love to work.
If you had one biggest advice for builders wanting to ship AI powered tools in traditional industries, what would you tell them? What's the most important thing?
The most important thing is, I think, is don't do, just go get a hand on. Just don't do paper research. Just if whatever you're thinking right now, I know you can use AI and build tools. Just go talk to your local features. If you're in the construction or any industry that you plan to build that tools, go talk to validate with an actual customer. Talk to them, find out the struggle, to just validate that. I'm a firm believer into talk to the real person, and better yet, participate in the process one time. Then you learn so much more. See, most people just do the interview. Yeah, so most people can do the interview and everything, and they learn and everything. You ask the customer, not until that you actually go live a day in life of that process. Then it answers so much question and open up so many things that you can see. So just participate hand-on, participate in the process once. It answers everything before you. So don't do paper research, do hand-on research.
Yeah, I think that's the most important advice to any founder. Talk to your potential customers or to the people that you think have the problem. And only if they really have the problem, build it. if you cannot validate the problem, please don't build it. And don't trust some AI that tells you something. I can 100% agree. Go to the people that will have to pay for your software that you are building, and really understand them, and also understand if they are willing to buy it. I think this is really important advice. Outside of that, I think you're really into sports. We had the chance to chat like a few minutes in advance, and you're really a kite surfer. What does kite surfing do for you? Also, if you take a look at the business side of things, what's the great thing about kite surfing?
Kite surfing basically helped me focus on the task at hand. It's required. So the reason I love sport is that because of the nature of the sport, right? You cannot stand on the water and get riding on the water. If you stress out, whatever stress that you have, the moment you get on the water, because your mind cannot think of any stress or any trouble, anything at all. Because the moment you think about any of that, you're gonna sink. You're gonna get off. You cannot ride with your head thinking of other things, right? So that is basically keep my mind clear. So whenever I code, I get time. Of course, wind allow, I go ride on it. I just put everything, just be with nature, and it forced me to. A part of the sport is I look for the feel, use your senses, meaning not thinking too much, thinking of the task at hand, and then sense the environment, sense nature. Because the wind you cannot see, and you need to rely on the wind, the direction of the wind to control the kite. So you cannot see it, you can only feel it. So you got to use your sense and where the wind, but also at the same time, you need to look at the waves, right? Just like the picture you post, right? You got big waves, right? That you got to use all your senses and stay focused and then watch where you're going. So that's applied to business. So actually it's applied to my business. So most of the time we get so many things come to our, right? And we not really stay focused at all. And we worry so many things and not looking and not sensing, not using our senses. That's why I like kite surfing. Help me focus.
Yeah, and also, I mean, there are very practical reasons. Like you can't really change the wind. So if there's no wind, you can kite surf. This translates a lot. Like if there's no opportunity, the market is not right. You need you have to deal with the surrounding conditions and have to make the best of it. You can't change it. Like if the wind picks up and you have too big of a kite, I mean, you got to deal with it somehow. And it's the same in the business environment.
Yeah. And so most is successful. Yeah, it's just adaptability, right? That's what most is successful say. You got to be adaptable, change, right? So that's exactly what kite surfing. Every day is not the same. You don't know what's going on there. You go out there, the wind can change any moment. The waves can change direction any moment. So you got to be adaptability, adapt to the condition. We got to use your senses and figure out and anticipate. That apply to life in anything, either you business or work or whatever. It just help you better react and adaptability. That's focus and adaptability.
Yeah, and as final words, I think when we grow up, we often stop playing. And kite surfing, this is one of these things. It's just playing, like as if we are children. There's no use in it. Like it's just fun. We just play in the waves and with the wind and these kind of things. And that's really, at least for me, that's a lot of fun. Vinh, thank you so much for being on the podcast. It's been a pleasure. And to you, my lovely listener, see you next time.
Thank you so much for inviting me. You have a good one.